Hello, ladies. Sharon's here. Long time no see, girlfriends. Finally, I'm back. Oh, I can't believe it. We are going to have a fantastic day today because I am loaded with questions. So what day is this? Sharon, anything day. This is my Q&A day where I answer your questions. So this is going to be fun and exciting. I want to start up by saying thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the wonderful wishes and the flowers that you've sent, the cards you've sent, the emails, the notes, the phone calls. Thank you so very much. I had 2 deaths happen at the same time a couple of weeks ago, and so, or was it 3 weeks ago? I can't remember anymore how long it's been. And I had a housekeeper that had been with me for over 30 years, and she was having a hard time because she was having to go and get dialysis 3 days a week and was no longer able, to work for me full time. And she was young. She was in her 50s. She got the COVID, and after about a month, she was gone. So Maria will be highly missed. She was like part of my family. She was there from day one. I mean, for years and years. We will miss her deeply. She had 7 boys, tons of grandchildren. So needless to say, the boys need a little bit of this right now, if you know what I mean. So that was that. Then most of you all know the story of my sister. She always had an alcohol problem. If you remember 2 years ago, you guys know that I was involved in getting her here and getting her there and getting her this and that. And it was just a nightmare, but she did dry out and start a new life. Unfortunately, she started drinking again. This time, the cirrhosis of the liver just took over. The pancreas was shutting down. Everything happened all at once, and she has passed. It took me a couple of days to locate the body because no one knew where she was. The police didn't know. Anyone didn't know. Finally, I found her at one of our larger hospitals as a Jane Doe. And, immediately she was on life support at that time and everything else. So she passed pretty quickly. So that is that. Now I'm, handling all the business in for everything, and it's coming along nicely. It's smoothing itself out. Everybody's jumping in there to help. So I'm back to normal, I hope. But today I can't wait. I have communicated with so many of you by phone and by text, and like I said, mwah, to each and every one of you, I love you. I have never been so completely overwhelmed and full of joy, and my heart goes out to you. I had hundreds. So thank you very much. And I remember each and every one of you too. Mwah. Thank you so much. So I want to start with my Q&A. I have a lot, girlfriends, you know that. First question I have today is from Sophie. Sophie says, Sharon, what is a good primer for your face? I have tried everything on the market. It either comes off or it starts to peel altogether, or it just doesn't give me the look I'm looking for, and my foundation still does not look smooth. What can I possibly use? Please help. Okay, I only swear by one primer, Sophie, and that is the truth. The main primer that I always use is Smashbox. And I love that primer. It's in a tube, and it is the silicone gel one, the clear one. I have used that for 100 years. I love it. My foundation just goes on smooth like glass. I use less foundation with this primer. This gives me the best look. It fills in all the pores and the lines that I need right now as much as it can. Of course, nothing's a miracle worker, but if you want your makeup to stay smooth, if you want it to stay on for hours, if you want to get that real beautiful look, Smashbox primer, girlfriend. Swear by it, swear by it. And it's inexpensive. It's $30-something. I mean, it lasts forever. Just a little pea size will do your whole entire face. Try that, girlfriend. Okay? Lifesaver. Okay. Thanks so much for your question, sweetheart. Okay, the next question is from Celia. Sharon, how can I stop my under eyes from creasing? Okay, oh boy. You know, that's everybody in the world. We're kind of looking for the holy grail. I can tell you what works best for me. It may not be 200%, but it's close to 100%. The thing about under the eyes is we age constantly and we're always building up fine lines and wrinkles. So once we find something, 2 weeks later, as we have increased with lines and wrinkles, it may not work like it did before. But I'll tell you what works for me 200%. Of course, I have already, before I've, applied any makeup whatsoever, any foundation, I've always used really good eye creams. 2 eye creams in the daytime are DEJ by Revision. I'll try to have that listed down below. But any of my skincare videos that I have are going to mention these. And the next one is Skinceuticals AOX Gel. I'm leaning more towards the DEJ for daytime. That's what I use. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So anytime I put my makeup on, then when I start applying, which I'll go into in just a minute, my concealer and blah, 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 and then setting that, okay, I've already got a smooth, great canvas. The canvas is everything, trust me. And let me explain that to you. After I put that on, I use a couple of different concealers now because I've switched over. I use the Hourglass concealer, and I'm just absolutely bonkers over Jeffree Star's under eye concealer. I mean, it is fantastic. I'm wearing that today. And then after I take my damp beauty blender and I press it in once I've got it all under there, because I use my fingers and pat, pat, pat. Then I take my damp beauty blender and just, push it in to my under eyes and around in here. Then I let it sit for about 10, maybe a couple of minutes. And then I get my Hourglass, I think it's Dim Fusion that I use. And I rub my damp beauty blender in that a little bit, pounce it here so I don't have any excess on it, and then just press. Press, press to set. It takes 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3. I don't care which way you go. Just press it. And that keeps it in. And it is not thick. It is not heavy. It's the most gorgeous finishing powder in the universe. And that is what keeps my under eyes set all day long. Try it, girlfriend. You will love it. Okay, thanks for your question. That is a really good question, too. Okay, the next one I have, number 3, and this is from Carrie. Carrie says, Sharon, is it necessary to use a hair mask? And which one do you recommend? Girlfriend, yes. Hair masks are as important as your face mask. Your hair needs moisture. Your hair needs vitamins and minerals and protein and everything you can possibly get in, especially if you're like me and you bleach your hair. I mean, I constantly, every time I get my hair done once a week, I have a mask on. Okay, it's washed. Then they put the, what is that afterwards? Conditioner. Then they put me in a hair mask for about 30 minutes. Sometimes maybe a tad longer. And different hair mask every time. The last time I think it was Colorescience, and it was kind of an oil in this mask. It was beautiful, though. And then sometimes I use Amica, I believe is the name of it, in a tub. and just many different, and then Moroccan oil sometimes. Whatever strikes the style as fancy is what mask I'm going to wear. And that helps a lot because these curls come down to here, come down to my boot. That's how this side is, it's that long. So I have to hold it and brush it out carefully when I need to get my hair done every week. I'm super tender-headed, okay? Have been since I was a child, so I don't want to break off my hair, and I don't want to sit there screaming and crying over, ooh, ow, you know, so I have to take my time with it with this special brush, and it takes a while to brush this side out. But after it is brushed, because you've had the brush, and then when they do the curl thing, it's that round hootus. Your hair goes, it curls like that with this. I think it's by Conair, but I'm not sure. Anyway, that's what happens. She takes a piece, she sticks it here, and then pushes the button, and it makes that noise and curls. Okay, so anyway, it's very important with heat being put on it, and brushing out the side, and hairspray, and blah, blah, blah. You know, you've got to take care of your hair. I mean, you know, it'll break completely off if you don't, so the masks are uber important. Those are some of the ones that I know that they use on me, okay? Thank you, darling. Okay, the next one is by Sue. Okay, Sue, here you go. It says, what did you do to make it through menopause without jumping off of a bridge? That's so cute. Okay, you know, I've had a lot of girlfriends that have used to go through, you know, hell, really, during menopause. And you know what? It was easy peasy for me. A breeze. I started menopause very early. I was about 48 years old, 47, 48. And, you know, it's just, my doctor realized it, and immediately she put me on HRT. So that was the biggest godsend in my whole life. I was like the most perfect candidate for that. Thank God it took care of my skin, took care of my emotions, took care of my attitude, kept me from throwing things across the room. You know, it took care of a lot of hot sweat, you know, the sweats that we get, the heat sweats. Let me tell you, I got very, very few of those night sweats, very few. I would kind of get hot in the daytime, and you know, I just turn up my air, or you know, have an extra fan going in around my desk at the office, but nothing where I was going to drip or anything. I only had probably maybe a total out all those years of maybe waking up and my hair feeling damp in the back, you know, by my neck. So, you know, I knew I'd had some night sweats. But as far as my attitude, I noticed I started crying at commercials. For real. Girlfriends, that was the deal. I was crying at commercials. So, you know then, you're in menopause, okay? And that was the biggest sign that I had. But actually, you know, I was a little grumpier too. I mean, I could rip off your head and poo-poo in your neck probably, because that would come and go when you went throwing my little fits. But other than that, menopause was really a total breeze. I will tell you the worst thing about menopause was, for me, I got a belly. I never had a stomach, ever. And by the time I got through, I looked like I was really carrying an enormous load. And it doesn't really go away. You know, it might go down a little bit, but it just doesn't go away. So you kind of lose your waistline. That chapped me more than anything. But HRT is what saved my life. I mean, it totally did. Totally. And everyone in my family had a really hard time. The women I'm talking about, you know, with menopause in the family, but it wasn't for me. But I never had a problem, you know, with, you know, periods or anything like that either. So And everybody had cramps and everything. Me, I just didn't even know it was coming, didn't know it was going. The luck of the Irish, okay, girl? Hope that helped you. Okay, number 5. This is from D. It says, Sharon, do you use the New Face? And what do you think of it? Does it really work? I got a New Face years back. I used it faithfully for 2 years. Saw nothing. Nada. Nothing. I didn't see anything lift. I didn't see anything firm. I mean, my retin-A was great for any type of firming and lifting somewhat. No, I didn't see anything at all. That's why I decided to go with the fillers, because nothing that I was using, no machine, no tool, no device was doing what a filler could do. Do you see what I'm saying? And I could get fillers a lot cheaper than you can buy a New Face. Hello. So no, I'm not going to sit there and waste time and press and move and do this all day and night. Because, I mean, I was faithful to this for 2 years. And when I finally took it into my doctor and I said, this doesn't work and this is a joke, and she started laughing. She said, I cannot believe you spent the money on that. She said, this is not as strong as what we would do up here with you, you know, with our machines, you know, because they obviously have, you know, that area where, you know, they have the girls back there doing, you know, all the treatments. And she says she thought it was hysterical that it cost that much and that I was actually doing this, and especially for that length of time. And so, no, you know, didn't work. Let me just put it to you this way. Didn't work for me. Now, if some think it works for them, stop for a week and watch what happens. Doesn't work? Thank you. Appreciate your question, darling. Try something else. It's so much easier to try something else and a lot cheaper, trust me. And they really, the other things really work, okay? Okay, number 6 is from Linda. Sharon, I have noticed all the sales going on, like Nordstrom's and a lot of the stores, etc. But due to the pandemic situation right now, I cannot afford anything new. What in the world can I do to still be in style and look great this year? Okay, hey, I got the answer to this, and don't go spend a lot of money. Don't do it. Because guess what? Basics. Go to your closet, all of your basics, wear that for the year. You do not need to spend any money right now going into fall. And especially this summer, there's basics for the summer. Where are you going? Half of us are not going in crowds anywhere. We're not going out like we used to be. We're sitting at home a lot. Now, you know, we can wear cute masks, but, you know, everybody's just running around their blue jean cutoffs or jeans or, you know, their leggings or something, and oversized t-shirt, nada. But for this season coming up, fall is around the corner, and I did it the other day. I separated and did all of my basics together because I'm not going to shop during the pandemic. Why? Because it takes so long for everything to get here anyway, and some of it is getting lost. It's just insane. And I said, that's ridiculous, you know, to do that right now. And I have, especially when I have two great big huge walk-in closets full of clothes. So I started, you know, putting everything together for the season. Like I put my basics, you know, in blouses, basics in tees, basics in any type of camis, you know, my basics in my blazers, because we all know I have 5 million blazers. As a matter of fact, I got a couple being altered now. Oh, wait, you see this blazer? It's good looking. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, back to the story. Basics. That is what's going to be majorly in for fall and winter. So use what you've got, girlfriend. And you talk about being in style, girlfriend. You're going to be in style. You know why? Because they are basics. That's exactly why. Try that. You'll love it. Okay. The next thing on the list, Becky, and this is number 7, says, if we only had a few products to use for our skin, Sharon, what would it be? what would you recommend? Okay. I'm going to give you 5 and I'm going to give you a bonus, okay? The vitamin C is imperative. You got to have a good vitamin C. That's your antioxidant. Bottom line, point blank, vitamin C is first. And the next one, of course, I put down retinoid. You got to have some sort of retin A, okay? You have to. That is imperative. That takes care of the lines and the wrinkles and makes you a little firmer, builds up collagen, elastin. We can go down the list. Everybody knows what a retinoid does. All right, and then glycolic acid, because you want to keep your face exfoliated. And when I say exfoliate, I'm talking about every day you want a soft exfoliation. At least once a week you want a heavier glycolic, heavy, exfoliation. So you've got to have an exfoliation, an exfoliator. Okay, the next thing is I put down growth factor because I cannot live without it. Now, for those of you that have had any problems with skin cancers or what have you, do not use growth factor unless your doctor gives you the okay, because it's no, you're not supposed to. All right, the next thing, of course, is a good moisturizer. I don't care what it is. It's going to seal everything in, and it's going to give you hydration. The whole key right now is hydration, hydration, hydration. The next thing is, and this is a bonus for all of you, I use it, and I'm going to implore you guys to do the same thing, is an essence. I have to have essence. I don't have to, but I use an essence. As a matter of fact, I go by 3 skins. 3. Okay, when we say skins, we're talking about 3 times we apply it. Okay, you apply the first one and you pat it all in, work it in, then the next one, the next one. It gives you all this hydration. And when you're older, chances are your skin is more dry, some are dehydrated. You need every bit of moisture you can get. And that hydration is coming from the essence. I have to have my essences. You all know my Tatcha's my favorite. I also use SK2, and then sometimes I use the Snail Mucin. I love that by COSRX. Oh, love that stuff. I like that at night though. It's a good essence. But anyway, and then of course, the big one, the big kahuna, and the big bonus is sunscreen. You got to have sunscreen, and you have to reapply it. I know a lot of my gals say, oh, well, Sharon, it's easy because after I do my makeup, I just put on my sunscreen, go about my day. But I don't forget about it till I go wash my face at night. Whoa. You haven't used enough sunscreen, and not often enough. That's got to be done every 2 to 3 hours. Now, I told y'all the easy way to do that is to get the Colorescience powder. It's in a little brush in the applicator, like I've shown you before, and I just brush mine like if I'm at a stop sign, driving, or if I'm, I was just walking through the other day in Ulta, and, my watch went off, buzz, that means it's time to apply sunscreen. So I just took it out and walked around and did all this, and I had a lot of people say, what are you doing? What are you using? Oh, we never heard of that. And I thought, are they not watching our YouTubes? Well, anyway, I told them all about it. And, some of these women that were, what are you doing? Where'd you get that? What's it for? So everyone was quite curious. But this is imperative that you put sunscreen on in between. You see what I mean? Majorly. Because then, about every 2 to 3 hours, because it's not going to work all day just putting it on that one time. Trust me. You got to keep doing it. We got to make sure we have enough on, right? Okay, girlfriends. So those are the products that I would recommend. Okay. The next question, number 8. And this is from Phyllis. It says, Sharon, I am 57 years old. Do you think I'm too old to get Invisalign? No, I don't think you're too old. Honey, how old am I? Let's see. I'm going to be 72 in September. Can I tell you something? I have a tooth up here. I wore braces as a child. I've always had totally straight teeth. But they shift on you. As you get older, your teeth will shift and move around. So, if you can go out and get Invisalign and wear that 6 months, maybe a year or whatever, and it straightens it all up, and it makes you feel good about yourself, why not? Listen, Invisalign is not that expensive, and I have a girlfriend that needed Invisalign, but she went another route. It was a cheaper one. I don't know if was it Smile Direct? I don't remember exactly, but she used the form and did her thing, so they knew. She sent the form back, and then they sent her Invisalign, and it's beautiful, and it was 10 times cheaper. I mean, so yeah, because I said, okay, I've been talking about it and just have not had the chance to go get it. I want to see if I can't, straighten out where that tooth moves back where it's supposed to be. But see, as you get older, your teeth are going to move, your gums, you're going to have all kinds of stuff going on, And so, no, 57, too old. Oh, no. You're a baby. Please, go for it. It makes you feel good. Mm-hmm. Okay, the next question is number 9, and this is from Jessica. Said, have you ever reviewed a product that you did not like? Yeah, but I usually say I don't like it. I tried a drugstore foundation one time. Can't remember the name of it exactly. Hated it. Okay. Didn't work. Instantly, I didn't even have it on for an hour and it started separating all over the place. Can't remember the name of that. Was it by L'Oreal? I can't remember, but it didn't do any good. I didn't like it. And then there have been a couple of eye palettes that I have not cared for. But like I said, when I demonstrate something or I talk about it or I show it, I'll let you know if it works or not and what I think about it. Because I don't think anybody ought to go out and waste their money on stuff that's not going to work. And trust me, there is so much of it out there. And you're going to be getting tons and tons of stuff all the time and hearing about it. And not everything works. Not everything in the drugstore and some of the high end I don't care for. You know what I mean? And that's just me. I get better looks with things like Chanel, Dior, Charlotte Tilbury. Now, if I try, and I do like Hourglass, that's nice, and YSL. But if I go try, for instance, Giorgio Armani, I have a lot of trouble getting the color match right, and it doesn't give me the look, okay, that I'm looking for in a foundation like Chanel does, for instance. It doesn't work for me as well. And then there's lots of even high, and Natasha Denona. I am not a Natasha Denona fan, and I bet I have almost all of her palettes. I keep trying to give it a chance. But it just doesn't work for me. It's almost like it's too heavy or too out there. And plus, I really am leaning so much more towards a cream eyeshadow now. Because I really like it. And there's so many beautiful cream eyeshadows out there. But see, it's just like today. I have on Charlotte Tilbury Bette. Cream eyeshadow. It's just one eyeshadow look. And I love it. Okay, so much for that. But yes, some of it, I'll always let you know what I think, okay? All right, last but not least, my precious ladies, is from Kim. This is number 10. It says, Sharon, how is your diet coming along? Lady, this sucks, okay? Before when I went on a diet, I was actually eating food at the right times, and the weight was just boom, 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 falling off. I am on straight shakes that are no more than, 100 calories, except the Premier are like 160 calories. I have 5 of those a day. And girlfriends, I don't notice but about 5 pounds this whole time and no more than 500 calories a day, practically. maybe a tad more on some days. But the thing about it is, I do notice inches, but this is slower and it's more miserable. So I asked my doctor about that because I thought that was real weird. And he said, well, it's probably because you're not moving around a lot. Last time, you know, you were walking all your floors and doing this. And that is true. I'm not walking out as much because even walking the floors, there's passerbys, and I'm so paranoid about this, pandemic right now. And to wear a mask kind of cuts down on my air. So I'm walking at certain times, but maybe not like I was the full thing. So I'm going to try the full Monty pretty soon. And when I say that, walk all the floors, my 4 miles, and see if that's going to help speed this up, or if I need to go back to that original diet before. You follow me? Yeah. So, you know, the older we get, the tougher it gets. I swear, this is so miserable, isn't it? We women have to constantly diet and then exercise and all this. See, that's not fun. That's just so not fun, girls, okay? Anyway, my ladies, thank you so very much for joining me today. That is my Q&A for the week. I want to tell you how much I appreciate you and how much I love you, and thank you so much for subscribing and being part of my tribe. There is no one that appreciates it more. Trust me. All right, my ladies, I want you to have a great week. Stay safe and know that I love you. And I want you to stay sassy, classy, and confident, and give me a big thumbs up on this Q&A.